Welcome, ladies and gents. I have made no sort of lies about it. I've not hidden it. I've not enjoyed the Halo series at all. In fact, if you would believe Paramount Plus, it's a global hit, and I am in the minority. But apparently, the co-creator of Halo has come out and criticised it as well. Now, interestingly enough, they followed up, and this is just in the interest of being transparent. They did follow it up with another sort of tweet to indicate, oh no, they do some, basically to say we weren't bashing it too much. I think they were probably asked, nicely, maybe not say such things. So let's take it out. Let's take a look at this. Let's check it out. Like I said, let's take it out then, but let's not do that. Let's check it out together. Halo co-creator confused by many of the choices made in the Paramount Plus live-action adaptation, and I quote, "Not the Halo I made," because it's not at all. And I've discussed it with a few people here and there in the comment section of my latest review. Loads of people were like, "Well, but now moving into the next season, we're going to get the Master Chief that we know." And I'm like, one, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. They will definitely bring Pablo Schreiber back, and he will be doing mask off everything again. But secondly, even if that was to happen, and that's genuinely what you believe, which it isn't, but let's just entertain that for a second, then the whole first season was pointless. Because he went through a character arc just to have his brain melted, and then have Cortana take over and him be the Master Chief that we know. So why, if that was the case, you must be able to admit that that's a dumb decision to make, because you're just going to irritate people. And it renders it all moot anyway. Weird. But anyway, let's check this out. So, this individual, right, Marcus Leto, one of the co-creators of Halo, has now come out and said, yeah, what's going on here? He basically said, look, I'm confused by many of the choices made by the live-action adaptation. I can't speak today, apparently. Very frustrating. Sorry, ladies and gents. Leto who served as Bungie's creative art director, beginning with Halo Combat Evolved, for which he conceived Master Chief's iconic design, before later directing the studio's final game in the series, Halo Reach. First touched upon his thoughts on the series on May 14th, so it's a little bit old news, but not. People are sort of finally getting around to it now. Asked by a fan for his feelings about Master Chief finishing, definitely not the fight, in the Halo TV series. Referring to the now infamous sex scene presented in the show's 8th episode, Leto revealed, basically we watched Master Chief lose his virginity. It was the weirdest thing. But anyway, Leto revealed that he was still getting through the series, but noted that he had lots of mixed emotions and opinions. And this is what he said. Yeah, I mean, you can see he's trying to be diplomatic about it, and that's the census I get. That's the feeling I get from this anyway. 2 days later, after being tagged into a Twitter conversation between two users over the series' quality, one pleased that the series was reaching a new audience to the brand, even if it's not the Halo we knew. The other finding it takes the brand and strays it away from the heart of the series game. Leto would opine, yeah, I'm not sure where the inspiration for the show comes from now. Not the Halo I made. You can see it all here. So, again, not that diplomatic. Not laying into it, but you can definitely tell he's not impressed. And then obviously he followed it up. Now, that was at 6:42 he followed it up, and the initial one was at 12:26. So, a whole 6 hours would have passed. I think he was reached out, and someone asked him nicely, hey, can you not say that? That would be great. I don't think he has to abide by anything, but it would seem that is basically... that's what it says to me. 6 hours pass and he comes back? Why would he do that? And he says, for clarity, I never said I didn't like it. And he says, it's just so different than the Halo I helped make. Like it's a different universe. It is, isn't it? It's a silver timeline. The silver universe. As others joined the conversation and shared their opinions on the series production, Leto would offer a small bit of praise to the show. And he says, I actually like some of the battle scenes. Cool action and some great VFX. Some of it is trash, especially for $10 million an episode. But he would say, in particular, the plasma hit effects in episodes 1 are spot on. Yeah, I mean, they get, like, things right. But, you know, that's like saying, well, you know, I made shit bread, literally, feces bread, and I put flour in it, and the flour was organic. Yeah, okay, but you still made feces excrement bread, didn't you? Yeah, but the flour was good. I mean, that's what he's saying here. He's, oh, well, you know, some good stuff here and there. You know, well, the plasma hit effects were good. It's still an excrement-laden show, though, isn't it? So as his tweets would begin circulating across social media, it was soon noticed by Mexican Sunbro, who retweeted Leto and observed, damn, when one of the original creators behind Halo hates the TV show adaptation, it's time to cancel it. And he would follow up and says, look, I didn't say I hated the show, because he didn't. Some parts are interesting, just confused by many of the choices that were made, which feel pretty far outside the core fiction I helped create, which, I mean, it is way outside the realms of that. Way outside the realms. Now, as of writing, Leto has not offered any further thoughts on Paramount Plus's widely panned endeavour. However, given that his above comments were made the day before May 18th premiere of Halo's first season finale, one can only imagine how he may feel the episode's bait and switch twist. I mean, it's not going to go very well, is it? And like, I don't think if I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes, for instance, you know, I'm looking at this, it's not doing that well, is it? Now, Rotten Tomatoes is not the be-all and end-all, but it's a barometer. There's barely any critics interested in this. 64 critics have reviewed this show, and 52% it's rated among users, with not even 3,000 people reviewing it. Now, is that an access thing? Because I don't think it is, because if we go to Star Trek Picard, for instance, now go to Picard, definitely not an access thing. You know, 86, 41, I mean, obviously that's, you know, panned to high heaven. But there was a lot of, maybe they've removed the critics. But anyway, there was a fair amount of critics reviewing Picard, if I had remembered rightly. So it's not an access thing. You know, and there's a lot more people reviewing the audience as well. 3.5, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're not listed. That's very frustrating. Never mind. The point remains, ladies and gents, is that overall... Oh, here we go. We can get into it now. This is me being a bit of a dunce. Sorry, it's Sunday. Please forgive me. But 253, 3,079. So it's not so much an access thing. You know, critics have got it. Users have got it. But what I think is interesting, so critics are largely ignoring Halo. You know, basically 200 plus more people are reviewing Picard, or did review Picard. But then we look at like the users, for instance. Like, what is Paramount Plus's user base? It can't be that big. I mean, that's embarrassing, isn't it? So again, is it, you know, are we looking at it's not an accessibility issue. It's that people are just not interested in Paramount Plus. Or the shows, largely. So they're completely being panned, absolutely wrecked into oblivion. And even the creator himself, not my Halo. I mean, you know, not the Halo I made. And one thing I'd always go back to is Forward Unto Dawn. That was a great Halo adaptation. Good little thing. Really like that. But anyway, so let me know what you think down below in the comment section. If you're new here, I'm a bit blurry. But do hit subscribe, give the video a like, and do share. It really helps the channel out. Cheers. Have a great day.